I think it's become more of a common sentiment that overrated and underrated are not useful terms for discussion of things. And maybe that's just the people that I follow because I don't like those words, so I don't tend to watch people that use them a lot. Like if I see a video that's like, why this is the most overrated track ever in Mario Kart, I'm like, eh, like I don't, like people are like, oh, Coconut Mall is overrated. I'm like, it's, I think it's pretty correctly rated actually. Like, I don't know. It's just that's maybe a silly example, but generally, I think they're not. What it generally means to me is overrated is the general public likes it more than I do, and underrated is I think people should like this more. But I think people tend to mean it more as they see it as like popularity. But I think overrated would be like the general consensus is a 9 out of 10, but it really is a 7 out of 10, which is just your opinion. So like maybe it is correctly. If the general consensus is a 9 out of 10, then maybe it's just a 9 out of 10 and you just don't like it that much. But something that is popular does not mean it's overrated because something could be very popular and everyone likes it and they still all just say it's like it's good. It's a 6 out of 10, and that's still technically positive. Maybe you're like, you're not giving it tens out of tens. Maybe every single person that likes this thing, but they would still only give it 7 out of 10, right? It's like it's good. It's not great, but it's good. And it's like you think, I didn't really like it. It's overrated because everyone else likes it. It's not really how it works. If everyone gave it a 10 out of 10, maybe, maybe. I think with like NFL free agency starting up, like you could consider players to be overrated by the general managers that paid them, and then they're overpaid. But also, then it's like, well, other people were competing for them, and they were maybe overpaid just because everyone wanted them, and you wanted them the most, and you're like, I need this player. I'm gonna give them more than I should probably, and that's not necessarily because you think they're worth that much, but because you need them and you're willing to pay a little more. I don't know, but it's the same with underrated. Like I know this one musical artist who I like. I think he's good. I think he makes good songs. I like a lot of his songs. I think he's really good. But he's not popular. He's got like 30 some thousand monthly listeners on Spotify, maybe like 1.7 thousand subscribers. I checked earlier because I was talking about this. And he's still overrated. I think you could use that word probably. I still wouldn't because I don't like it in general. I don't really ever use it, but I think if you're going to use it, you could use it there because the fans that he does have, because I've been in his fan base and like they love him. I think he's the greatest thing ever, and it's like sure, and I think that's fair, right? That's their opinion, and I'm not disagreeing. Like I still would not use overrated, but you could use over. He is definitely not underrated. Is what I'm saying. If you said he's underrated, he's not because you're saying he's the best ever. He's not underrated then because all his fans are saying this, right? At least the majority of them. He's maybe underappreciated, but that's a different thing. So I don't know. I really think it just boils down to overrated, underrated, or just easy buzzwords to throw out there, especially in a YouTube thumbnail or a title. And it's like overrated. It generally just means I don't like it as much as most people seem to. But I think in general, if you're like, this is overrated, and you really look at it, you're like, actually, for the people that are giving their genuine opinion, a lot of things are really just correctly rated. And if you think about a lot of stuff, it's like, oh no, it's not actually overrated because no one really is like, this is a 10 out of 10 thing. Like, it's like, this is great, but this. And you just chose to focus on the negative, and you're like, I don't like it. Okay. Like, you don't have to. And we all have different opinions, which is why I think, like, a general consensus a little silly. Like, I know Mario Odyssey, I remember reading reviews of it because it was getting so many 10s out of 10s. And so some people were like, I think it's a 6. So I'm giving it a 1 to balance out the 10 out of 10s, which is not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to give it a 6. And then the consensus, you know, balances out. But or maybe I have no idea what I'm talking about.